Imagine your manager shares a Google Sheet file containing 15,000 employee records. Then they ask you to do few tasks such as find employee number 12,587, update the employee's salary, calculate total payroll, or might ask you to highlight the everyone earning more than 80,000. Could you all this using a notebook? Probably not. Think about Microsoft Word. Yes, but still difficult. But with the spreadsheet, all of these tasks can be done in just few clicks. So before we learn formulas, chart, pivot tables, dashboards or other things, there is one thing that every data analyst must master is to understand the spreadsheet itself. Because if you don't know where your data lives, you will never be able to analyze it efficiently. In today's lecture, we'll explore the basic structure of spreadsheet using Google Sheets. By the end of this video, you'll be able to navigate any spreadsheet with confidence. So welcome back to the complete data analytics course. In the previous lecture, we have learned what a spreadsheet is and why it is one of the most widely used tool in data analysis. So today we are going to understand the structure and the basics of the spreadsheet. So don't worry if you have never used a spreadsheet before. By the end of this lecture, you will understand how this data in the spreadsheet is organized and every piece of data is stored where, right? So once these basics are clear, learning formulas, sorting, filtering, charts, pivot tables become quite easy to handle, right? Okay. So let's start, let's begin. At first you might see that this is the sheet which I've already opened. I've given the name it as practice, right? From in the previous lecture I've told you how to change that. And you see here we have various cells A1, B1, A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, right? And the data is stored over there A2, B2, C2, D2, E2 and so on. You can see this data which has been stored, a few entries just for the reference purpose, right? That I have entered to show that this is the record of the one single entity, second, third and so on, right? And that's how data is being stored here. Okay, so after that you can also see at the bottom this we call it as sheet, referred as sheet 1. We'll double click over there and we can change that, right? Okay, like if I'll say this is employee data, so right, I'll write employee, and even I can create more worksheets here also, right? In a single this Google sheet. Okay, so I'll click on plus and I keep on adding the sheets, right? Okay, wherever I want, and even we can rearrange also, right? If some of the sheets I would like to show it at first or at last, yes, we can change the order of these sheets also without changing the data. It will not have any impact. Consider that there are some other teammates who also want to contribute here in this Excel, right? Maybe changing some data, entering some data, or fetching some records, or whatever they want to do. I can also give the access of this sheet to those also, so that they can easily contribute here without need to send it to the email, right? Because if I will be using a Microsoft spreadsheet and the Microsoft Excel, yes, I need to send it over mail or I need to share in a different way, might be. But this Google Sheets, which need not to store on your device, you can even store it in the your drive also, right? As you can see, it is already linked to my account, and you can see the reference. Okay, so I can easily click on this share, and I can easily give the name or the email address, right, with which with whom I would like to share it, and give the access also, like to view only or restricted or anything. They can also edit also, right, to that sheet. Okay, and you know one good thing with this, for example, if someone else change any record here, right? Okay, I can easily track record of all these things also. You can see this option here that last edit was 2 minutes ago. That means every change done by any person will be highlighted in here, right? Okay, that means you can see all the versions. If somehow you get to know, okay, we have done some changes and I would like to see the very first one, original one, where there was no changes, that might has done by mistakenly, I can even get that version of that spreadsheet also here, right? That's very good thing about it. Okay, so now I think we can close this, and we go back and we are coming back to the sheet. Okay, spreadsheet. So a few options we have here, menu, right? As you can see, I have file here, right? And you see here, we from here we get an option to create a new spreadsheet. If there is an existing one, you can also open that, right? Whether it is in your drive or anybody else shared with you, right? Or is it in the computers, right? Or your you can even upload it also from your desktop. Okay, then you can even make a copy of this, right? Import option is also there if you want to import this file, right? Okay, then you can also store it in any different folder or anywhere you want to import. You can share option is also here, right? You can even email this file also. You can download it in different formats like PDF, Excel, right? With the different extensions, web page, right? .html, comma separated file values, right? CSV. Okay, we can even rename that also from here, and easily we can double click over there and we can also edit it here, right? Okay, rename it. So you can check the version history. As already mentioned, there are multiple options, right? Okay, and even you can make available offline also, right? That means it will not remain online. You can do some work over there, like in case some internet is not working, you can make this file even available for offline, and once it's you get the internet back, you can connect with the internet, and then all the records will be saved over there, right? Okay, so in edit option you have undo option which is there, right? Multiple options which are there, as you can see, that undo, redo, cut, copy, paste, and one very important thing is paste special, right? And you can even delete the file and delete the records of or delete the file also, and find and replace also, right? Multiple options which are there. So with this I hope you understand a bit what is a row, what is a column, cell, right? In the file you have all these options which are available, okay, that you can use it. Okay, and after that in edit also you see we have undo button which reverts your worksheet to the state it was just in before you perform the most recent action, right? And redo is also very helpful when you accidentally hit the undo button and you can perform a redo operation. Yes, you can see here, right, that you can perform from here also and even use the shortcuts. Okay, so a certain action you want to uh, a certain action that you have done but done by mistakenly, you want to uh, discard that, yes, we can do undo. And if I want to perform any task, the most recent task which I want to, I can do redo, right? Okay, so like for example here the value is 58,138. I by mistakenly changed it to 58,130. Now I don't want that, so I'll go to edit, I'll undo, or simply I'll press Ctrl Z, right? Okay, so you see the last step that you have just performed, the action whatever you perform, you want to discard that, it's done. Now the same thing you want to perform it again, whatever the task, so I'll perform redo. Okay, so now the recent task which I have done, I want it to repeat it, so I'll do use the redo option, right? Okay, undo and redo, two important things. Undo reverts your worksheet to the state it was previously, and redo is helpful when you accidentally hit the undo button and you can perform a redo. Okay, and then you have cut also, cut, right? Cut, copy, paste, right? For example, if I want to select this data and I wanted to move to this this particular row, so instead of copy paste, I'll select that. How I am selecting that, right? I'll just directly click on this row address, right? That I can see cell number this row number 2, right? I just click on there and entire row is being selected. If you just want to select this data only, yes, I click on this cell A2, then I press shift and right arrow, and I'll be able to select that, right? Okay, right, this is what I can also do that. Okay, this is how we'll be able to do. Or one more thing, you press control shift, you click on the cell A2, you press control shift and then you click on the right arrow. Tell the cell wherever your data is present, you will be able to select that. And same way you can do it on the column wise also, right? Okay, you click on the cell A2, then you press control shift and down arrow, you'll be able to select this data also, right? So if I want to copy paste, I'll select the data, control C, and I'll click on the cell where I want to paste and control V. This is copy paste. Now I don't want to keep this task, so I will undo it. That is control Z. If by mistakenly I have done undo, I want to keep that, I'll do redo, right? Okay, you see both options are there. Okay, control Y. But I would like to do what I'll like to do is cut paste. So I'll select this data, control X, and then I'll paste. Click on the cell where I want to and control V. This is cut paste. But there's another option which we have is to paste the data, but paste special. Like for example, sometime what happens is you might get some data in the fields using some formulas, right? And the formula also get copied. But when you take that or send that sheet to someone, they might not be able to see the formulas, right? In that case, we paste values only, okay? Or if I'll change the data to some other sheet, then I will not be able to see the formula over there, right? Okay, then in that case we can just paste values only, right? Okay, so we have multiple options which are there that is available. Paste special, I want to paste only values, only formula, only format, conditional formatting only, data validation only. We'll talk about these formulas, conditional formatting, data validations, right? So we get all these options. Okay, so this was about edit, right? Yes, also you can delete values or any row or even notes also, and you can easily find and replace. Okay, for example, I'll click on find. I'll say I want to find what, a person or employee with the ID 4141. Okay, so I'll say done, and it has just find. Obviously I want to find. If you want to find and replace, then you have to give the detail also on this, right? Otherwise, if you just want to find, you can press simple find, that I just want to find, and then you will be able to perform that also, right? So if you want to find and replace, I'll click on that, find and replace, control H. So I want to find the employee with the ID 4141 and I want to replace it with 4142. Just example, right? Okay. If everywhere you feel that you want to replace, I'll replace all. But if you want that, okay, I want to match the entire cell content, because sometimes happens that you have ID 5141418. Now you just want to replace 4141 in that entire data, right? Then I'll say match case. But if I want a cell having only data 4141 and strictly I want to replace that, then I'll get this option match entire cell content, then only replace, right? Okay, so I'll say done. Okay, and I hope it will be done. Control H. So I'll say 4141. This is the data, right? Okay, and replace it with 4142 and replace all. So you see it has changed 4142, right? It has got changed, right? Okay, so that's how you'll be able to do that, right? And this is how you'll be able to use these options which are there. Then the view, yes, you can view the formula bar, grid lines, formula. If you want to view the formula also anywhere applied on a cell, you can also view that. But generally we show only data. That's why we keep that only. So this is another option that you will see here, right? Just above it where fx is there written, that is the formula, right? Okay, where the where you have to write the function or the function over there, right? Option is available to you. Okay, for example, here I want to calculate the average income of all the employees, right? Okay, so I'll click on this cell. You see the cell E14 is being used. So I'll click on this tab, which makes me to write a function. So instead of just adding everything that 46,344 plus this, I can directly use a function equals to sum function, right? That, and I will give the range from where I need to select the data uh, to the point, right? And it can apply some function on that. For example, my data is stored, date of income stored in from 3, that is E3 to E30. So I'll give here E3 colon E30 and I'll close the parenthesis, hit enter. You see I got uh, the total of this salary, right? Okay, so uh, if you want to do the average of this, right? Okay, yes, we do have the option to find the average also, right? Okay, we'll apply all these functions in the future. So that's where you can write the functions also. Okay, so apart from this, you want to insert a cell, row, column. Yes, we can do that also, right? For example, I feel I want to insert one record above this. So I'll click on the cell wherever I want to add. I'll right click over there and I'll say insert one row above or insert one column left or wherever I want to insert, right? And even if I want to delete the row, delete the column or delete any cell, I can also do that, right? So I want to insert one row above, so I can easily do that, right? Okay, this is where this option is available. We have a shortcut also for the same, that is alt plus I plus R. Okay, so I'll press alt plus I plus R, right? Alt and I has to be pressed at the same time. R you can press afterwards, so it will insert one row above, right? Okay, that is. If I want to insert multiple rows, I'll select two. Okay, I'll select two, then Alt I R, so it will insert two rows, right? Similarly, I want to add four, I'll select that portion and I'll be able to do that. And same goes for the column also, right? Then for your data that you have written, you want to format it also, right? Yes, the number format, text alignment, wherever you want. Like you see here, number always have uh, the numbers that you write here is there starting is there at the right side of this cell, right? But the text is on the left side of this cell, as you see that. So you want a common if you want a common of all this, right? Then what you'll do, I'll select this entire data common format, I'll select this data, I'll go to format and I'll keep the alignment in the center, so you get the entire data at the center, even if you do it for the column also, right? So format, alignment, center. So 6 different kind of alignments are there: left, center, right, top, middle, bottom of this cell that you can do. The one option is there, wrap. Now very important, right? Okay, sometime what happens is we write description. Okay, like this person lives in Mumbai, right? Okay, and working as a software engineer, right? Okay, now this text is written and you see it is it belongs to the cell F3. You clearly see here, but the data is getting out of that cell. That doesn't mean it is present on G3. No, G3 is empty, right? You see, if I want to write on G3, I'll write on G3. Let's suppose I'll write here is age. Okay, I'll write here 32. You see the data is there, right? Okay, it was just overlapping on that. The data was actually present on there, but I'm not able to see it clearly. So one option I can do, I can expand this, right? I can expand my width of this cell. That's fine. One thing, okay? But what if that somehow we have visibility issue, right? Okay, that it becomes so, because we can have description, long description at any cell, so it might be difficult for us to view. That's where we have one option in the formatting called as wrapping. Okay, so I want to do what? I want to wrap the data. I don't want to overflow it. I want to wrap the data. You see, now it is being stored in the single cell, clearly visible, wrapped, right? Okay, for this you feel the data is at bottom in the alignment. Yes, you can go to the format, wrapping, sorry, alignment, and then you can click center, right? Okay, it can shift to the center also, right? Not visible here, but yeah, obviously it has moved because of this data you're not able to see. So this is how all these options, we can rotate the data, right? Also font size, whatever I want to keep, right? Okay, even I can convert to the table also, right? Which is available, I can do that. Then in the data tab, yes, we have options to filter, sorting, data validation, data cleanup, split to columns, right? That we'll see in the another video. But we have one option is data connectors, right? Okay, if I want to connect it to the BigQuery or Locker, another options which are there where might your data be present over there and you want to extract. Here you can do that also, right? Then in tools, we can create a form here, right? Not required. This is this is a Google form, right? Where we can get the information from the various person and store it there, and then directly it comes to the Excel. We can connect that. Okay, so we'll see it in the later portion of this series. Then in the extensions, we currently don't need any of this, right? Not our task. And this is where your privacy policy sounds and all those function list which is present, right? And shortcuts also. So this is the basics of an Excel and spreadsheet which is there, right? Okay, that you can see it clearly. And we we have multiple options which are there to see that, to understand the rows, columns, cells, right? Cell address, okay, the cell which is currently active you will be able to see at the top left corner, right? We can select the range of the data as already mentioned that, right? On the formula bar that we can use it. Okay, so this is what we have covered in this session. So now I hope you understood the basic structure of a spreadsheet. So from next lecture, we'll start entering real data into the Google Sheets and learn how to organize it like a professional data analyst. And as we progress through this course, you will discover that every advanced feature, whether it's formula, pivot tables, charts, and dashboards, they build on the concepts what we have learned today. So if you find this lecture helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Mind Insight, and share it with anyone starting their data analytics journey. So I'll see you in the next lecture, and follow Mind Insight for more videos. Thank you.